Welcome back, class. Here's lesson 3 on spreadsheets. Today we're going to learn about inserting charts in our spreadsheet. Another one of the really great features of spreadsheets is not only can you use the spreadsheet to do all the math for you, but you can also use the spreadsheet to very easily look at a chart based upon the data. So I'm going to show you that with this energy consumption in Illinois. First, let's change the name of this tab down here. Notice this is a tab and it says it's called sheet 1. We're going to rename it. We're going to name it energy consumption data because we're going to add a chart in a new tab, and I'll show you how to do that right now. First thing you want to do is select all the data that you want to include in your chart. And this is kind of an important thing because it's very easy to make a mistake based upon this. So you'll notice I'm going to include the year, all the years. I clicked on cell A55 and I'm dragging to the right and I'm dragging up all the way up to row 2 and column F. So cell F2, you'll notice when I let go, it highlights all that I've selected. I don't want to select the title. You'll see why in a second. I also don't want to select the average at the bottom because if I have the average, it'll kind of mess up my graph, as you'll see in just a second. So once you select your data, then you go to insert and chart. Insert chart, and you get this chart editor box that pops up. You'll notice that there's 3 tabs: a start tab, a charts tab, and a customize tab. We're going to use all 3 of those. First, I'm going to make sure that I've selected my data correctly. Notice it's taking it from the energy consumption data worksheet, and it's using cells A2 through cell F55. If you want to change that, you can click on here and change that, but that's what I want it to select right there. And I do want to use row 2 as a header, and I want to use column A, which is the years, as labels. And you'll notice when I clicked on that, it put all of those at the bottom here. And the intervals are by every 10 years. Again, this is very smart. It knows what it's doing. So you'll notice that it's going every 10 years, and you'll notice that over here on my key are the different color codings based upon my row 2, which are my headers for each one of those lines that I'm graphing there. And you'll also notice that it recommended this chart for me, but there's other charts you can use. If you want to go to the more, if you want to click on more, or if you want to go to this charts tab here, you can change the chart by just clicking on these different chart types and taking a look at the preview, what it's going to look like, and you'll see how great that is. It shows all of the points. There is the total in 1968. The total BTUs are 2,721,559 billion BTUs. So that's very large, very huge. You could also change it so that it's a smoother curve. That's a smooth curve there. You could click on the combo chart, which in this case doesn't do anything for us, or you can click on a radar chart. There's maybe different reasons why you'd want different charts. That's kind of a cool looking chart. Here are your area charts. This is the one that they recommended. You can do a smooth area chart. You can do a stepped area chart. That's what that's called. So it's showing you plateaus instead of lines, diagonal lines, slanted lines going up. You could change it to a column chart. You guys are probably used to column charts. There's a stacked column chart. That looks pretty good. That's not a bad one if you wanted to use that. That would be a good option. You could also choose a bar chart, a sideways bar chart, stacked sideways bar chart. Again, that's pretty nice. That shows a lot of the data. That gives you an idea of the information that you want. And you'll notice that from the years now are on the left and the BTUs are on the right. You can do a scatter chart. Pie chart wouldn't work very well. If you try to do it, it'll say this data doesn't really fit into a pie chart, nor does it fit into a map chart. Trend charts aren't too bad. You can try a trend chart. You'll see what that does. It shows you things in a little bit of a different way. All right, I'm going to go back and choose the stacked bar chart. I think that one is a really good chart to use. And now I'm going to customize a couple other things on my chart. I will first of all customize the title, and I'm going to call it Energy Consumption in Illinois. And you can change it to bold, italics. You could change it to be smaller, or you can make it bigger. You can color it. There's all kinds of things you can do to the format of that chart. In fact, let's go ahead and do that. Let's make it red, and let's make it size 24, so it's nice and big. The legend, you can change it so it's on the right or at the top, or that doesn't really fit very well, or it could be at the bottom. That doesn't fit very well. Or it could be on the inside of the chart. That doesn't look very good. Or it could be, or you could just take it out altogether so that there is no legend. I definitely want it, and I want it on the right. That looks good right there. You can change the background font. Let's take a look at what that does. When you click Garamond, you'll notice that it changes all of those things to a Garamond, which I kind of like that. It's a little bit smaller, a little bit neater looking. Let's keep it like that. And you could change the background color if you'd like. Let's do that so it looks nice. You could reverse the data if you want. So notice that it goes from 1964 down to 2012. That goes from starting at 1964 on the bottom and going up. You could click on the maximize, and it makes it really big. I don't like how that looks. You can do a compare mode. That didn't seem to do anything. What happened to my legend? Somehow it went on the inside. Let's keep it on the right. I don't know how that happened. I must have clicked it on accident. All right. You notice the axis. You could change the axis to horizontal or left. I'm sorry, the horizontal axis, that would be this axis right here. And I do want to put something in here. I want to put energy used billion BTU in billion BTU. And you'll notice that that puts it down there. It gives me a little an axis title on my horizontal axis, and I can do the same thing for the vertical axis, I believe. Let's see if I can do the same thing for the vertical axis. Let's see. All right, let's change the axis now to the left vertical axis. So I changed, notice that I had to choose the drop down, and I clicked left vertical, and the title is going to be year. Oops. And you'll notice that I clicked off of that somehow. See if I can get that back. Not sure where that went to. Insert chart. Let's see if it's still in there. Nope. Did I somehow lose all of my chart? Well, I guess you get to watch me do it again. It'll be good practice for you. I'm not sure what I did exactly, but oh, you know what? Maybe I did insert it. Maybe it's just at the bottom. Oh, yep, I did. When I clicked insert, I didn't realize that I clicked insert accidentally, which means it finished inserting my chart, and you'll notice that it inserted it on the bottom. And now you can take this chart, and you can, if you grab it from right up here on that handle, that top handle, you can drag it to wherever you want it to be, and you can even resize it if you would like, or you can click on it again, and you can edit things straight from here. You can edit the titles. You can't edit the you can edit where the legend is, but you can't edit the words in the legend. But if I changed one of these words up here, let's do this. If I change that to test, you'll notice that in my legend itself, it changed the word to test. Now I don't want to do that, so I'm going to undo what I just did. So you see that it was done correctly. And you can double click. If you double click on the legend, or no, click the down arrow and you click, let's see, advanced edit, it should pop up to that window again and let you continue to customize the things that you want to customize. All right, a couple other things that you can change. You'll see a couple things that you can change down here. If you go to the start, again, you go to start. I'm trying to see where I can update where I'm at. Let's just go ahead and click update, and let's see if it's in the drop down menu here. In this drop down menu, when you click on it, and there's a quick edit mode right there. There we go. That's what I wanted right there. On this drop down right here, there's an option that says move to own sheet. Look down here at my worksheets. I have one worksheet right now, but if I click move to own sheet, notice that I have chart number 1 and it's in its own worksheet now. So there's my energy consumption data, and if I click on chart 1 on that new worksheet, it's nice and big and it's in its own on its own worksheet. So that's what I want you to do. That's lesson 3. You're adding a chart. Make the chart exactly like I made it, including the font size and the type of chart that I have. All of this stuff, make it exactly how I've done it. Let me show you one other thing before I go on. Let's notice something. If I let's look at this chart. Look at the year 2012. Watch how cool this is. If I go to 2012 on my chart and I change residential, let's make it 0. Let's say the zombie apocalypse happened and everything went to 0. All the residential went to 0 because only commercial, only the buildings and the industries were still open for a little while, but all the people turned into zombies, so they weren't using any energy anymore. I know it's a crazy scenario, but trust me, it could happen. If I go to chart 1, you'll see what happened to my red bar. My red bar is gone because red is the residential BTU, and I don't have any residential anymore. It's entirely gone. So your chart is very interactive. It's dynamic, which means it changes. When you change data, the chart changes. I'm going to undo that so that you'll see what I've actually, you know what, I'm not going to undo that. I want you to put 0 in for the year 2012 for the residential, and I also want you to put 0 in for commercial for 2011, and I want you to put 0 in for industrial in 2010. Look at what happens when I make this 0. Watch this number right here. It's going to go down. See how it went down? It went down because this number depended in part on that cell. So when you change that cell, any cell that was a formula relating to it changed. You see how that number right there changed? The total BTU changed as well. So when I look at my chart, you'll see I have no red in that top year. That represents 2012. I have no yellow in that next year. See how there's no yellow between the red and the green? And I have no green in that third line down, which is the year that represents 2010. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Get it finished and show me your work.